And what's going on, guys? Kale here, coming at you with another video. Just kind of doing kind of a combo thing. This is a combination of a account update as well as just how the Scarlet Spider event is going, my preparations for the Pocket Dimension, and just my overall preparations for Dark Dimension 5, and just kind of where the accounts are these days. So right now I'm actually currently on Mini. Looking at things, we are just a little bit past the 500-day mark, so day 502, and, definitely at one point I was doing these account updates kind of like every 10 days or so, and it just got to be just a little redundant, I guess, as not too much was going on during like a 10-day basis, so I've kind of tried to, do, I guess, maybe like once a month updates, unless there's anything specifically going on. But taking a look at little Mini over here, so we are up to 7.5 mil. So, kind of, again, that steady continued growth, which, is always good with an account. A lot of that is going to be contributing to the fact that the Alliance is running Doom 2 times a week. Doom 1 the rest of the time, and Doom 1 we are consistently hitting 60%, and Doom 2 we're kind of currently pushing past the 30% mark, going for 60% in that as well. And then eventually that content will become, a daily occurrence as well. So, kind of just looking at things, gonna check through the mail real fast. Scarlet Spider event is live, a very player-friendly event as far as the actual event goes. The more challenging aspect is definitely going to be Pocket Dimension, and even with that, though, Pocket Dimension doesn't seem super hard. I say that with, a raised voice just because it's kind of hard to tell until the event actually starts, but, with that being said, looking at the Resolute characters, some of them certainly leave something to be desired, and I am a little disappointed for both Mini and Dracarys that essentially Omega Red most likely will not be coming back around by the time this event does occur. Kind of the original thinking, and when I did the video on the Pocket Dimension, I really thought Omega Red would kind of be the one to carry the team and, just make things a lot easier. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is, I'm definitely going to take these top 4 right up here. And then I think for Mini's case, my best bet actually might be Shuri, as she's already kind of like semi-built up, and just kind of use her as my healer and, kind of just go from there. But anyway, with that being said, let's kind of just get into this Scarlet Spider event. I've just logged in, since the event actually has gone live. It's been live now for about 43 minutes. It's a pretty simple event. Basically, you spend campaign energy and you level up characters, and with the training mats, you're going to get points. And, basically, it's kind of the same thing, because I think it's basically 4 L1s are equal to like 1 L2, 8, and so on and so forth with the math. But, so looking at that real quick, I did not actually purchase any campaign energy yet today, just because I was waiting for this event to start. So we'll go in with that real quick and just kind of talk about what I am spending campaign energy on. And pretty much it's kind of more or less the same stuff. I'm currently farming characters that are either in raids, or I am farming for a certain legendary character. So this is just kind of what I've spent throughout the day. I've got my lovely little Kree minions here, and the Kree minions are being farmed for the eventual return of Omega Red, if and when he ever does come back. The legendary cadence, I even kind of hesitate to even use the word cadence, because it doesn't seem like there is legendary cadence anymore. But in theory, Omega Red should have been coming back after that pass-through of Adam Warlock, and that's not the case. It looks like they are doing Dr. Octopus. So hopefully, Omega Red comes back, maybe by the end of the month, maybe early February. But, yeah, that's kind of just where that is. So that's kind of really all I'm spending my campaign energy on, is these characters up here. Majority of it I'm actually using to farm materials for Dark Dimension 5, so I'm going over here in the Doom War section, and if you look over here, I'm basically just farming these catalysts, as the catalysts are going to be, pretty much every character needs these catalysts, so the more you have of them, the better, and that's kind of what I've just been using my campaign energy on. So just by going through that and spending, those 4 core refreshes, so, that was 480 energy, plus, whatever I had sitting around, because I didn't actually collect this as well. So let's do that real fast, and we'll just kind of see where we're at with the Scarlet Spider event, and just kind of reinforce, why I think at least this part of the event is pretty player-friendly. So we basically farmed 4 nodes here, so that's, 4 nodes, about 400 energy, plus whatever character farming I did, and, that already has us at milestone number 2, which isn't too bad. So now I'm going to kind of go in and do what I would normally do, and, level up my characters. So I am currently finishing up my Eternals on Mini. So typically what I was doing prior to the start of this event, I was stopping right at just a little bit over 1 mil. Now that this event is actually going on, though, I'm kind of willing to spend about 2 mil. So we'll go up, we'll bring Icarus right up to level 85. So you look over here, we're using 1,000 of these blue ones, 4 of the green ones, 54, 98. So quite a bit of training mats. So 2 mil gold spent. I do apologize for the timer going off. It is time for a blitz rotation. So we will go ahead and do that real quick as well. But so, just from that, in one day, I'm already at milestone 14. And Scarlet Spider is actually going to unlock at milestone 17. So, in theory, if I really wanted to, I can unlock him today. But I'm not in a rush. It's a 14-day event, and I really don't need Scarlet Spider until the start of Pocket Dimension. But like I said, this is a really, very easy, player-friendly event. We are already here at milestone 14, so doing really good on that end. So other things, I guess, kind of going on, we'll go ahead and look at the store since the store has refreshed, and, kind of more or less the same. I am currently stockpiling these hero origin pieces that are teal. I'm soaking up these origin pieces as well, as those seem to honestly be the larger bottleneck getting into Dark Dimension 5. Orange pieces, not really buying as much anymore. I am currently on the last legendary node for Dark Dimension 4, for Mini for the second pass, so orange gear isn't really much of a priority. However, I am still currently stockpiling the orange hero uniques and just trying to keep myself at a solid 71. That's kind of a nice amount to have, with the exception of the Superior Oz formulas, which I am hoarding, as 4 out of the 5 new web warriors do require this unique, and on Mini, for example, none of them are really built up. But in the Blitz store, kind of more or less the same, buying these when needed. Currently farming Misty Knight just because, and in the Rate store, I think I'm, for the most part, kind of maxed out on characters. I am farming Ravager Stitcher when he does pop up, just because, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I'm planning to take him into Dark Dimension 5, and, but I want to say Sharon Carter I actually have able to get to 7 stars, and so basically any character that's not 7 stars or a legendary requirement I'm currently farming in here, but there's really not many. Moving on over in the Arena store, farming Phyla-Vell shards. In the War store, again, looking for legendary characters. I'm not as free spending on Mini with the teal uniques, as I don't really have the war credits, as I am still kind of really hard farming some war characters. So I'm a little tighter on my war credits than I would like on Mini, but it is what it is. Over here in the Elite store, again, kind of the same thing. Basically just looking for meta characters. So Cersei, Icarus, Omega Red, kind of characters like that. The Web Warriors are definitely options, but for right now I'm kind of just holding on to the credits. In the ISO 8 store, kind of more of the same, farming these blue ions as well as the ISOs, working on getting my raid teams to blue 3. which, speaking of, let's just kind of pop on over. So, Mini's section is Bio, Skill, Tech, Mystic, and then Mutant. So I've been working on skill first. I've kind of stockpiled a little bit of my bio section, and I'm planning to do that for Web Warriors once I start leveling them up. But so I've essentially kind of skipped Web Warriors for the time being, and I jumped up to skill, because currently my symbiotes can kind of handle the bio section. So I've actually finished my skill team. So my skill team is all blue 3. The only reason I still have these characters up here is because I'm planning to take them into Dark Dimension 5. But basically, as I'm finishing characters, and if they are not Dark Dimension 5 candidates, I'm removing them from my Verse Battle tab. So the next section is going to be Tech, and, I've gotten my Ravender Stitcher to blue 3. Dr. Octopus is actually who I'm currently working on, so I essentially need 3 more of these little diamonds. And as you can see up here, Mini actually does not have a shortage of ions, so that will be really good when I kind of start working on the Web Warriors, as I have the ions to take them up. But, so real quick, I guess we'll just see if we can get 4 of those support diamonds. So we've got 7 pulls here, so let's see what we get. Alright, so we've got 2 diamonds, so we just need actually 2 more, and we will be good to take Doc Ock up. And basically what I've been doing is I've kind of been working, one character at a time, and once I get the character, I get all of his ISOs to where I need them, I then start kind of pulling the ISOs for the next character and building up the ions, if that makes sense. So as you saw, I just pulled those 4 diamonds, so I can take Doc Ock to blue 3 now. So we'll go ahead and do that. And he also is going to be a Dark Dimension 5 character, so I'm going to leave him in my Verse Battle tab. But now let's shift on over to our next character, which is Lady Deathstrike, and she is a brawler, and I actually have all the ISOs to take her to blue 3 as well. Excuse me. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick, and this is very quickly depleting Mini's ions, but you can kind of see why this is like the biggest bottleneck with the blue ISOs. So she is done. She is at blue 3 as well. So that basically kind of finishes off my tech team. And if you'll notice, I don't have Doom visible, and that's because Doom is actually already at blue 3. But I don't plan on taking him into Dark Dimension 5, just because he's a very expensive character. So, I've removed him from that Verse Battle tab to kind of keep it as clean as possible. With the characters that I do have. So now, actually, the next section for Mini would be Mystic. So we can go on over here and tab into Mystic. And now that Icarus is level 85, we can go ahead and take him into blue as well. And if you look here, basically this is the only one I'm missing, so I'll basically start doing my Blaster Ions, but we'll go ahead and pop him up to as close to 3 as we can. And like I said, this does eat up a lot of ions. Essentially from 0 to 1, it takes 20 blue 20 ions, so it is quite expensive. But boom, let's take him to blue 1. And so we don't have enough, obviously, to take him to blue 2 yet, but what we'll do is we'll go back in and start farming his last ISO that he needs. So this one over here, so he essentially needs 4 squares. So what I'll do is I'll open up those, the blue orbs, and if I do get those 4 squares, great. What I would then do is he probably won't have enough ions to take him to blue 3. So once I do get those blue squares, I would then go to my next character. So in this case, it might be Cersei, and I would start farming these controller ISOs. And while I'm getting to hopefully get these 5 squares, any ions that I get, once I get to 150, I would take Icarus up to blue 3, if that makes sense. And that's just kind of how I've been working the blue ions and the blue ISOs. And if y'all want me to do kind of a more in-depth video with that, I can certainly do that. But that's kind of where I am store-wise. And yeah, so I'd say that's kind of a little update. Currently, I don't have really any characters that are DD5 ready on Mini. The events have really helped quite a bit. So if we go on over to our Verse Battle tab, like if we look at Dagger over here, and even Cloak, I think Cloak actually might have some that he is ready to potentially go to G16, which is actually surprising. I haven't checked this really. So he actually might be ready to go to G16. And basically, I think once I kind of round off my Doom teams, I definitely will start working on the DD5 stuff. But as you can kind of see here, a lot of my teams are still under 85. So I'm still currently working on that. But anyway, that's just kind of a little account update and where things are. Hopefully you all find this video informative, and want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope everyone is staying safe out there. Have a good rest of your week. Good luck on the Scarlet Spider event, and take it easy.